What's up, everybody? It is Julian MT, and I am here to give you a video about these wonderful BB bands and the direction of the BB bands, how to trade the BB bands, what BR was talking about, and just to get us all better traders and not lose. So the key of this is to trade with the trend always. With the trend always, y'all. Now check this out. From here to here is the direction of the 5-minute BB bands going in direction. For example, from here down to about here is the direction of the BB bands. From here up to about like right here is the direction of the BB bands. Like from here to here, and then from here to here is the direction of the BB bands. So all we're doing is looking at the direction of the BB bands and going with the trend. Right? We're going with the trend of the direction of the BB bands. Now, what I'm trying to show is that if we look at this GU first, we have the 1 hour, the 4 hour, the daily, and the weekly trends all pointing to the upside, right? These are all pointing to the upside. And then you go on the 15 minute is pointing to the upside, and so is the 5. Now, what BR is talking about with the point is this section right here. With this going to the upside, and also this part going to the upside, if you were to take trades right here at the bottom of this BB band, since the channel is going up, that red signal is a great trade. That would have been like a 4-2 score probably, and with the trend going with the direction of the orange line. So this pointing up, when this came down and basically touched the bottom BB band, you can either take this off the BB band because this is pointing up, or just off the signal. So for example, on the EU, see how this is trending up? All of them are above the orange, and the direction of the 5 minutes says it best. And so once this cross happened right there, once that cross happened and you have signals pointing, this right here is pointing to the upside, right? That's pointing up. So the next time this either touches the orange line or goes up, basically is where he's looking at to get in. On this GU, on this UJ, sorry. From here is the direction of the BB band. Now this is not necessarily pointing down, but this is though. That's pointing to the downside. And as soon as it hit this top band right here, do it in purple. Right here, let's do yellow. Whenever it hit the top BB band right here, that was like the entry to go to the downside, because the direction of the orange line is down. The trend is down. The direction of the 5 minute orange line is down. And off this signal on the 5 minute, this signal, that would have been the trade to the downside. at the top of the BB bands, the direction is going down, and at the top of the BB bands, that would have been a trade. Now what he would look for is for this to go here and then back down. So once it either hits the orange line and the direction of it is still going down, it would win. I know this is pain. I'm gonna show you video later. I just explaining to you what I see. Alright, so check out this UC. The UC is going down, and let's say this 5-minute red for the trending, you would have got in on there. The next entry, if you miss this super yellow to the downside, would be waiting for it to hit the orange line and then back down. That's all it is. That's literally all it is. So right there, whenever it hit the orange line and it was at the top of this BB band, since the channel was going to the downside, that would have been the trade. Boom, boom, boom. Okay, let's try to annotate what I was talking about into a video. Okay, so here we have the GU, for example. Now, as we're looking before, we have the trend for the GU going to the upside. Look at the 5-minute GU going to the upside, right? That 5-minute BB road is pointing to the upside. Times where it makes sense to trade, you don't trade off this BB band up here, but once it came down to this orange line, you got this signal with the trend. That was a great trade. It goes up, hits the top of the BB bands, and it's still pointing to the upside. Look, it's pointing to the upside, and it's starting to point up right here. So you got your 5-minute trend. The orange is above the yellow. And then once it hit this bottom BB bands, look at your signal. Boom. It goes to the upside. Right here again. It's going to the upside. You got your BB band. And as soon as it really touches the BB band, that's like the trade to the upside. Look. It's still pointing to the upside. Off the BB band would have been a great trade. I'm gonna just keep showing. This one was kind of tricky off the BB band, but it's still flat for the most part off this signal right here. Look. This is where I know for a fact this is like kind of where Jasfran trades a little bit. I know this is where he trades a little bit because I mean this is going to the BB band and this is going to the orange line. The trend is up. Your 5-minute trend is up, and you have it going to the downside. But look at it; it's gonna touch this BB band, and it's going to look. See, that's touching the BB band. That's touching. Look, that's touching the BB band. At this point is where you would want to go up. Like this is basically a trade off the BB band. So 1.3795, I think it is. That would have been like a great entry going to the upside with the trend going to the upside. So basically, when this movement of this candle, and you got your 5-minute red signal, it bounced off the orange line, it bounced off the BB band, and up it goes. Here's another example for the GU. Look at this. Right here. So now it's kind of pointing to the downside, but it's not like we're just like looking for it to go down, right? But we're looking for trades going with the trend of the direction of the 5-minute orange road, and that would have been a signal to go to the upside. There's one more example, and I'll compare. So like even right here with the trend, once it hit this bottom part, bounced off the orange line, bounced off the BB band. Here it goes, pointing to the upside, pointing to the upside. Even though this has went down already, now we're looking at the direction of the 5 minute, and you get your signal, and it works with the trend at the very bottom of the BB band. See, you get your signal at the very bottom of the BB bands, the trend is up. Let me run through a few more. Let's see, I have one at U at 2046. So let's see what we can see. Okay. I know this is in the morning, but just keep in mind. So this GU trend, this EU, Euro USD trend is pointing to the upside. Y'all see that 5 minute pointing to the upside? You see these bottom BB bands pointing up, pointing up. You see the top of the band pointing to the upside, pointing to the upside, right? And so basically, once you have your trend and your 5 minute trend is going like in a direction, you're basically taking it off the bottom BB band. That's literally what you're doing. You're taking it off the bottom BB band. This is pointing to the upside. So once this touches it, and that's like, that's basically touching it. So either what I was doing was I was getting to a trade right there at the bottom BB band. It touched on the 5, and then it touched on the 15 band. The trend is up, and so right here at the bottom of the BB band was a time to get in. Get it? It was a time to get in. Look at that. Bounced off, no signals. Momentum hits. Of course, you can take it with momentum, but these are just things I see. And while we're right here, okay, check this out. Check this out. Check this out. This is a lot of the times what BR is talking about, where he takes most of his trades. Look right here. Okay, you see this on this UJ pair? On this UJ pair, it is trending to the downside. You have your trending to the downside. The orange line is below the yellow right here. So at this point, it's like, okay, it's either going to touch this orange line, or this is going to go all the way up and touch this purple band. That's far away for this yellow to go touch this purple band. So at this orange line, the orange line is below the yellow. You have your 2 minute pointing down. You have your 5 minute starting to point down. Look at that. It's pointing down. It's pointing, starting to point down. And this is off the orange road. Look, it pierced the orange line, and this is off the orange line trade. And it goes down. Again, look at it. Off the orange road. Went up, touched the orange road, on the 5. And then momentum's in, and boom, it bounces right back down. Look, your 5 minute is pointing down up here. It's pointing down right here. So you're going down. All you're doing is basically either hitting it, letting it hit the top of the BB bands, or letting it hit the orange road, and it goes down. Okay, let's get back on this Euro USD pair. So see if I can show you another pair of it trending to the upside. Right here, I know what's gonna happen. I know this is a trade that, okay, it's pointing to the downside. Trend, orange road is pointing up, but look at the direction of the overall 5 minute. The overall 5 minute right now is pointing to the upside. The trend is pointing up. Look at your signals, it's pointing up. And off of this 5-minute trending pink, it wins. Just go with the trend. Go with the trend. Go with the trend. Go with the trend and go with the trend. So here's an example of the orange line. Look at this. It virtually touched off the 15-minute orange line. It touched or pierced the 5-minute orange line. And it pierced the 2-minute orange line, right? You have your 2-minute pointing to the upside. You have your 5-minute once again. It's pointing to the upside. Look at it. It's pointing to the upside. Off the orange road trade, and get your signal. 1, 2, 3. Get your signal. And this is like one of those off the golden road trades and wins. Gives you your momentum and it wins. And you've seen the momentum flash. Gives you your momentum and it wins pretty big. All right, I think that's it for the EU. All right, let's go to the UJ. So the direction of the UJ, class, I'm just kidding, but the direction for the UJ is pointing up right now. But we're looking for the UJ to go trending and start trending to the downside. And I say like right here, once this starts pointing to the downside, oh, you know it's going down. Like the trend for the 5-minute was going up. Now we have new signals and this is pointing to the downside. So we know that this top band is going to eventually start pointing to the downside. And when that does, let's see. Yeah, right here. See that? 5-minute pointing to the downside. So now this is the trend of the 5-minute UJ going to the downside. It is this from up here, the trend is going to the downside. Look at the 5-minute below the orange road. So these are off the orange road trades or off the top of the BB band orange road trades. I mean BB band trades. And it wins, it wins once again off the top, off the orange road, it wins. You even get your signal, see, it wins, going to the downside. It's starting to point up, so you're not taking trades to the downside just yet. You see, it's pointing to the upside, so you're not taking trades to the downside just yet. That one would have been a good trade, apparently. But that one would have been a good trade. I mean, it's pointing to the upside. You got your 5-minute trend in pink, and it just helps, though. It just helps you get into better trades. And then, see right here, even afterwards, it starts pointing to the downside. So this is more of a, once it hits the orange line, take it down type thing. And so, see, it's not, see right here, it starts pointing to the downside. Now you know you can finally start taking the trends, like you can start taking it down with new signals. But you know, this is afterwards, but I'm just saying for the UJ that would have been the best trade, would have been either right here or right here, unless you wrote it all the way down. The UC, okay, the direction is, the trend is down. This is down. This is down. The 1 hour is down. The 15-minute is down. The 5-minute is down. We have this top minute of the 5-minute BB band drastically pointing down. Earlier it was pointing to the downside. It's pointing to the downside. It had a little bit of retracement to the upside, but now we see this 5-minute BB band pointing to the downside. So with the signals, of course, and with momentum, it hits the top of the BB bands. It hits the top of the BB bands while it's pointing to the downside. So about right here at this 1.2439 area, it is going to the downside. Like that's off. That's a bounce. That's just a bounce. You got your 5-minute signal pointing to the downside. It's a bounce. And it wins. See, now you have your other side pointing to the downside. So you know it's going down even more. That big pointing to the downside, that pointing to the downside. The trend for the UCAD is down. The trend for the UCAD is down, 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 down. Like it's down. Don't try to go against the trend. And look, it gets even more down, more down. Oh man, it is amazing. Look at this right here. This is a perfect entry. Goes up, virtually touches the orange line. Touches the orange line on the blue charts, right? Pierces it off the orange road to the bottom. Everything's pointing to the downside. Your new trend for the UCAD is down. Look at the BB bands pointing to the downside. Look at the orange road pointing to the downside. Orange road is under the yellow, pointing to the downside. Touch the 2-minute BB orange line, and down it goes. Gives you your momentum, and down it goes. Of course, it moves up shortly after that, but here goes. Here goes again, pointing to the downside, pointing to the downside. This trend right here for the UCAD is, you have the 5 up, the 15 up, the 1 hour up, but the long-term signals is pointing to the downside. It's pointing to the downside, so that trade makes sense to the downside for a few pips. And also, like, see right here, that this UCAD up here at this 5-minute is pointing to the downside. The trend is more down, so we're going with the trend. So up here in this area, right here, we're taking the trade to the downside. So that's basically it. I hope that was very informative. Uh, I hope it really was. I hope that we understand what's going on with it. Um, it was quite a long video, but it wasn't that long. Um, I just hope that we all can understand what's going on with this and what we see with this, and I hope it makes everything clearer for everybody.